Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Marley, and if you are not new here, you will know how long it has been since I filmed a cloth diapering video. Oh my goodness, it has been a minute, and this was actually kind of an impromptu late night video. Y'all know I love my late night chats with you, especially if it's about cloth diapering. For those of you who are new, we are in a big stage of transition with getting a house put in and moving, and it's just been quite a period of change in our lives. So, and filming these sit-down videos, it's hard anyways because I work full-time, DJ works full-time, we have 3 kids, soon to be 4, and so it's really hard to find the time and the energy to sit down and film these videos. Usually if I have the time, it's like, well, I've got to fold laundry, or I've got to do the dishes, or I've got to do this, or I've got to do that. So, and that's why in a lot of my videos you will hear little people in the background, but right now everybody's sleeping, so it's just me. And in the tradition of our cloth diapering videos, I have my late night coffee, which is now switched to decaf tea because I'm pregnant. So I'm trying to cut the caffeine down. It's very sad. Super good though. It is, I got it here. This cinnamon apple spice caffeine free herbal tea. Oh my gosh. If you guys haven't had this, this is like apple cider with a bunch of cinnamon apple spice. I guess that's what it is. But it is like every fall drink that you've ever had rolled into a cup. Obviously, except for pumpkin spice, because everybody knows pumpkin spices fall in a cup. Yeah. But this stuff's super good. I would recommend it if you haven't had it, because that's really, really good stuff. So, today we are going to do 5 things that I wish I knew before I started cloth diapering. And honestly, these are in really no particular order. They're just the ones that stuck out to me a lot. But there are so many things that I wish I would have known before I started cloth diapering. Like, I've got a list. Obviously, if I really wanted to make a video on the entire list, it would probably take me like an hour, because there's just so many little things that it's like, you know, did I figure it out? Yeah. But would it have been like way easier to know beforehand? Yes. I do apologize for the lighting in here. There's just no good filming location in this house. So I've been trying out different areas. The best place obviously is outside on my front porch, because the lighting is just wonderful right there. But it's dark out, so this is the best we got for right now. So it's really harsh and it's just coming down on my face. All right, let's get started. All right, so number 1 is, I was really surprised when I kind of figured out that my preferences would change for different brands and different styles of diapers. Originally, when I had looked into cloth diapering, I thought that I was going to be this person who would buy a stash of everything. Like, so I would pick, what did I even originally want? I think it was, what the heck was it? I don't know if it was like Bum Genius all-in-ones, or if I wanted like Best Bottom. I think I wanted the Best Bottoms covers with the snap-in inserts. I think that was like, I thought that was just going to be the end-all get-all. That's all I was going to buy, was just one cloth diapering system, and then that was going to be it. Because I would watch these videos and I'm like, well, why would I need like 5 different kinds of diapers? That seems so crazy when I could just have one that works, and then it's all uniformed. And because I'm a very big like uniform matchy person, so I was so like drilled into the concept of having one kind, and then I kind of just accidentally started to dabble in different types and brands and styles, honestly, for the prints. I'm gonna be real with y'all. That is literally, I think, how I got like my first couple of like random cloth diapers was, I was like, oh my gosh, like I have to have that. I was like, I gotta have that print. Like it has a coffee mug on it or a whatever on it. I was like, I gotta have this. And then I would get these different diapers and I'm like, wow, like this is nice, you know? And different types of diapers work for different babies. They work for the same baby at different ages. They work for different, you know, like some diapers are great for bedtime or nap time, while others are great in the daytime because they're nice and trim, but they are not good for bedtime. So just, it was amazing to see how many different preferences I would have. And even, like I said, even for the same baby, how my preferences would totally change, because for like especially like the newborn stage, I was so about my pre-folds and my covers, thought it was just the greatest. And then I went through a pocket phase for a few months, and you know, with inserts stuffed in it, and then I went through a flats phase, and I just, you know, I went through all these different things, and it almost kind of makes because like changing a baby's diaper is just, it's not fun. Let's be real. Nobody likes it. It's not a good time. Like, ain't nobody got time for that. I don't really mind it, honestly. Like, I don't necessarily care if DJ doesn't want to change diapers ever. Like, I'm just like, okay, whatever. I mean, he usually does because, A, sometimes he has to if I'm not here. Or B, sometimes he just volunteers because he doesn't really care to do it either. We're not like those people that like really get like super grossed out. Like, I just don't get grossed out. Like, it's my kid. So, I don't necessarily care to do it. Now, every once in a while though, oh my gosh, there are those like horrific, like shoot up the back ones that are just like, yeah. So, you know, but it kind of, changing things every once in a while and like mixing stuff up, it kind of makes it less of like this double task that you're doing. Because it's like, ooh, I'm gonna try a flat fold, you know, and see what I can hussy up here. So, you know, might seem kind of silly, but I was just so surprised, and that was one thing that I didn't realize was how my own preferences would change. Because I totally thought, like I said, I was going to be like brand loyal, stick with one style, done, boom, simple. Not the case. All right, number 2. I wish someone would have told me to research before I started. Because the girl who had got me basically interested in cloth diapering and started, she didn't necessarily know exactly what she was doing either. So we both just kind of jumped in with our feet first and just went for it. I mean, we just went for it, and we went for it bad because we ended up just making a lot of mistakes that really could have been prevented if we had done our research. And, you know, for a while, like I ended up like just taking a break for a while because it wasn't working, you know, and I was like, why does this work for other people and it doesn't work for me? It was because I was not doing my research, and I was using things that now I know I would not use. They don't work. Like I was using like the Alva diapers come with a microfiber insert, right? Thinnest, cruddiest microfiber insert. Now some people do double them up. Some people use them as boosters. Some people use them for newborns. So I mean, you can use them. There are uses for them. You can make it work. But I wasn't doubling them up or anything. I was literally taking a single insert, stuffing it in a pocket, and then I was like, oh my gosh, he leaks every single diaper change. I don't understand what's going on. I don't understand. And now looking back on it, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like you had other inserts in there, and they were like inserts that I had like hemp and bamboo. I had no idea. I was like, I didn't know what, I just like had random stuff. and like I didn't know what they were, and I was like, oh, these are hard, like I don't want to use these. And looking back on it, I'm like, that was heavy. You should have used it with the microfiber and it would have been awesome. So, you know, and the other thing is too, when I did finally start researching and really collecting information, not all people are the same, not all websites are the same, not everyone offers accurate information. So I would just really, really look up your resources before you start researching on their websites or their platforms, you know, whatever platform that they use. A couple that I would recommend, Nikki's Diapers. They have on their website, they have information there. It's awesome information. It is researched. I really enjoy looking on there. I still look on there for just random information. I still look on all of these things for random information. Fluff Love University, I think that they are awesome. They do a ton of research. I went on there for all kinds of stuff, or even just to look through and just see if there's anything that, you know, I don't know. Another, you know, and there are also YouTubers who are awesome. I personally really like Jess is Blessed, and I really like Jay's Nest. Those two are two that actually take their time, research what they're talking about, and let you know. Now, not saying that, you know, they couldn't ever be wrong. I'm just saying that for the most part, if they tell you something, I think that they would be making a pretty educated, you know, statement. So, because they really, like I said, they look into their stuff, and half the time they'll link like their research below and stuff like that. So, awesome resources. But there are all kinds of resources on there. Just look up where people are citing things from, and you know, if they've been cloth diapering for 5 months and they say, oh, here's exactly what I learned from cloth diapering for 5 months, don't listen, don't, because you still really don't know what you're doing in 5 months. Like, if you've just been cloth diapering for 5 months, you still don't know. You don't. I'm just gonna put that out there, because there were so many times where I thought, I was like, man, I know what I'm doing, and then something would come up and I was just like, man, I don't know. Like, so I feel like now, you know, having gone through multiple children in cloth diapers and encountering, you know, different just random issues cloth diapering, I feel like I really have a pretty good grasp of what I'm doing. But I can still be wrong too. I will be the first to tell you, but I really try, if I tell you guys anything, I really try to make sure that I've researched my answer and that I know before I tell you anything, because I don't want to be that person that is just feeding people information and then they're having issues because I'm feeding misinformation. So I'm hoping that I never do that. That would be ideal. I'm gonna try not to. All right, so moving on to number 3, the laundry routine. I wish I would have had someone to tell me how important this was for your wash routine, because I kind of just for a while got in the habit of, I just kind of thought that they had a smell. Like, and obviously if they pee and poop in them, like they're going to smell bad. Like, disposable diapers smell bad if you pee and poop in them. Like, that's not a cloth diapering thing, that's an every diapering thing. But I mean like fresh out of the dryer, and like, you know, after they've been sprayed off, they're just sitting there. They shouldn't like reek, you know what I mean? But there was a while where like, and I didn't really have them like reek, but like there was a while where like I would dry them, and when I was getting them out of the dryer, I was like, man, it's like, no, it's just, you know, it's just how they smell. Like, it wasn't bad, but it was just like, it shouldn't have been there. Shouldn't have been there. I didn't know, and I didn't know that I had a bad wash routine at the time. And then I ended up, I realized, you know, I kind of did some research after that like aha moment where I was like, why does this smell like this? You know, and I ended up just figuring out that my wash routine was just off, and I tweaked it a little bit, and I think I've got it pretty down pat now. And you know, the other thing too is you may have to tailor your wash routine to to your babies. I had my first baby we did Tide. And then I had another one who had sensitive skin. So it was like Tide wasn't a thing anymore. And then I actually ended up kind of getting sensitive to Tide too. So, cause that was what we used for like our regular laundry too. But I try not to use Tide anymore because I just, like I said, I started getting sensitive to it as well. So we ended up switching, and that can totally change up the entire, I mean, not the entire wash routine, but even just if you're going from, you know, to having someone who is either sensitive or has developed a sensitivity to a laundry detergent, you'd honestly really just have to, I mean, you know, you can't obviously put that diaper with that laundry detergent on the baby. And sometimes washing it one time in the new detergent doesn't necessarily work. So it can just totally change the game on so many things. So that was another thing, was like, you know, the wash routine is so important, and like the smell is not normal. Like I said, if they poop and pee in them, like obviously they're gonna smell. That's every diaper. But as far as like them just having like a natural odor, that shouldn't happen. So I will just tell you that right now. So if you're watching this video and your diapers have an odor when they come out of the dryer, do something different. Research, go online, look up how to fix your wash routine. Because I promise there is a better way out there. So number 4, I wish somebody would have told me that cloth diapering from birth is not like this horrifying, scary thing. It was actually like the best. Like there was no, I thought it was great. So, and you know, for me, I have really sensitive babies. So, you know, if they do use a disposable, they're like, it is very like nerve-wracking. Whenever I've like had to, for whatever reason, I can't even really name the reason right now, but when I've had to, it's so nerve-wracking because I've had so many experiences of babies getting in a disposable and immediately breaking out in hives and just having like this awful, you know, I've dealt with chemical burns, I've dealt with hives, I've dealt with all these different things. So, you know, not having the stress of that in the hospital with a newborn, oh my gosh, it was just so great. And if you're a first-time parent, or even a second-time parent, if you've never had a baby with sensitive skin, that might not be something you would think about in the hospital. But once you have it happen once, I promise you, you will think about it every time. So, but it was seriously, it was not a big deal whatsoever. None of my nurses were like snotty about it. They all actually thought it was like super cool, and they were like, oh my gosh, like how do you do that? And I'm like, well, you change it just like a disposable, so I'm not really doing anything like Superwoman right now. Like I'm not washing these till I get home. And that's the thing, is like you're not washing them until you get home, because typically, you know, they have you in the hospital for like 1, maybe 2 days, and then they get you out of there. So, or at least that's how all my hospitals have been, except for the one experience that we had with the NICU where we're in the hospital for a long time. But that's obviously very extenuating circumstances. But for the most part, you know, 1 to 2 days and you're out of there. So you don't have to do laundry there. And the other thing too is like newborns, they don't, for like the first like 1 day, maybe 2, they actually don't pee and poop that much. Like it's not like it's like they have to like start getting the milk and you know, everything in and get it going. And then they start like every 2 hours you are on the ball. But as far as like that, especially the first day I felt like every time I would go to China. But yeah, especially that first day, because they really just, it takes them a little while to start getting everything in their digestive system moving and everything like that. But then you're gonna roll from there. So with cloth diapering from birth, it's awesome. It's not a big deal. I don't know why people freak out about it. It's not expensive. It's as expensive as you make it, which is everything. That's everything in life is as expensive as you make it. You can do it super cheap. I actually have a minimalist newborn cloth diaper video, which I will link down below. It's not, like I said, not expensive, and you can do it way cheaper than I did in that video. I was just doing it from a minimalist standpoint, not necessarily an expense factor standpoint. But actually, if you guys do want to see kind of how cheaply you could cloth diaper a newborn, I can totally do a video on that. So if you want to see that, give me a thumbs up, comment down below, let me know, say, hey, we would really like to see how cheaply you can cloth diaper a newborn, and maybe that'll be our next thing, guys, especially since I got a newborn coming up. I'm really excited. Okay, so number 5 is more of a fun one. It's not like one of my horror stories, but nobody told me before I started cloth diapering, very first one, how addictive that it can be. Like, y'all, I made a YouTube channel that I started. Basically, I started it with cloth diapering videos. So, I mean, not that this is like a gigantic channel or anything, but it's just the fact that, like, it's addictive. And, you know, it's almost funny because I am on these cloth diapering groups on social media and stuff like that, and you'll see moms post on there, you know, oh, I'm so sad, you know, I'm destashing after my last baby and I don't even want to get rid of these, and or hey, I'm thinking of having another one because I just pulled out all my cloth diapers and I can't get rid of them. So but yeah, it's super addicting because, and they're just so dang cute. They have the cutest little prints, and you know, disposables, they're not cute. They're getting cuter. They're getting some prints and stuff. They're getting cuter, but I don't think they're cute. I can't help it. I just don't. They look like paper. They look like paper, okay? And paper's not cute. Like, especially when you compare it to like some of my favorites, like my Rooster diaper. Y'all been following me for a while. Y'all know about my love for my Rooster diaper. Or like the one with like the little coffee mugs and stuff on it. Like, oh, like you cannot get cuter than that. So, I'm playing with my pen because I have my notes. So yeah, nobody really like prepared me for how addictive it is, but you do, like, sometimes you're like, man, I gotta tone it down. So, but that's pretty much it. Those are my 5 of the things that I wish I had known before I started cloth diapering. And like I said, kind of in no particular order, they're just kind of the ones that I thought of offhand. And I may do another addition to this video at another point because I think these are kind of fun. And I loved to watch these when I had first started cloth diapering, and even kind of going through, because you do kind of get pulled into this whole cloth diapering world a little bit while you're doing your research. And sometimes these videos are super helpful because, you know, somebody will say something and you're like, ooh, wait a second, I've been doing that. And you're like, that's not right. And then you'll do a research on it, and then, you know, you'll figure out like a better way to do something. So, but yeah, so these are just 5 random things that I wish I had known before I cloth diapered. And if you'd like to see another one of these topic videos, just let me know down below. And if you are new here, I would love to have you subscribe. I'd love to have you follow along with us. Like I said, I am having my newborn very, very soon, and I'm really excited. And so I will have a ton of cloth diapering videos, obviously coming up with that, because right now Colt is in a transition stage of trying to early stage potty train. So I don't have a whole lot of cloth diapering stuff for you right now, but I will very, very soon, and I'm really excited about it. So please hit that subscribe button, and so you can tag along with us on this next journey of going from a family of 5 to a family of 6. And go ahead and do me a favor and give me a thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.